Today I roast a movie so dull, so boring, so unimaginably lame, that naturally it came from a successful book franchise, spanned multiple movies, made a bunch of money, and it got soccer moms wetter than mimosas in September. I'm of course talking about The 50 Shades of Grey. A film that prides itself on being hot, steamy, and sexy, but actually does the opposite. In fact, upon watching this film, my penis retracted into my body like a frightened turtle into its shell. Yeah, no, this movie's 50 Shades of Awful. Let's roast it. Before we take a trip down memory lane, if you wouldn't mind grabbing the nearby anal beads and just smacking the crap out of that subscribe and the notification bell. That way, future videos by me show up in your feed. I do roasts, rants, reviews, live streams, all movies all the time. It's Adam Does Movies. So yeah, subscribe to hear more. 50 Shades of Grey opens with the juxtaposition of our two leads. The one, a powerful business dude. The other, a simple, plain-looking woman with a 4.0 GPA. I know she has a 4.0 GPA because it's one of the first things she says.
Yes, I do have a GPS and a 4.0 GPA.
Nice humble brag, Anastasia Steele. Dakota Johnson plays this character. Dakota Johnson, why does that name sound familiar? Well, you know her from the recent hit film Madam Web. I'm sorry, I misspoke. You know her from the recent shit film Madam Web. But 50 Shades of Grey is what gave her her big break and nepotism. Whoops, she trips into her first meeting with Christian Grey. She's a klutz. You know what? That's just like our lovable Bella Swan from Twilight. I already hate her. And, not that I'm one to judge when it comes to hair, but, what are we doing here? What are we doing here with the bangs? Looks like her barber was a blinded Edward Scissorhands. As she starts to interview Mr. Grey, she finds herself attracted to his raw, untamed alpha manliness.
I hope you got everything you needed.
Oh my, what in the world just happened? She tripped in place? Back at the loft, her sick roommate Anastasia steals her sandwich. Oh, what a bitch. We then see our little Anna at work at a hardware store. That's her job, I guess, for the one time we're gonna see her there. Apparently she has one afternoon shift every 6 months. Whoa, Mr. Grey is here, and he's picked up the same supplies a serial killer would get. Some zip ties, some duct tape. He even has Anna cut him some rope, at which point he says this.
It's impressive. Good Girl Scout.
What? She cut the rope. That was it. She didn't do any fancy knots or anything. Oh, wow, you're good. You must have been in the Marines. Never seen rope cutting like that before in my life. Amazing stuff. A 2-year-old could do this accidentally, but hey, apparently that's what a 4.0 GPA gets you these days. Coffee date! The two go out for a cup of joe. Doesn't go well. Christian went in looking for a quick shag, but he found himself feeling emotions that typically only arise in his swimsuit area. They head out of the shop and oh my god, Anna, look out! Oh my god, thank you, baby Jesus. Christian was there. And he harnessed his alpha male speed and agility to pull her ass to safety. That night, Madam Anastasia, drunk off her webs, gives Christian a call. He is furious that she's drunk. You better sober up real quick, little lady, cause daddy's mad. Timing could not be worse for her friend as he tries to plant one on her lips. Christian enters shot out of a fucking cannon. Absolutely bodies this guy. My question is, how did he find her? She left him no address. Didn't even tell him the place she was at. There were 0 clues to lead him to this location. I suppose we can chalk it up to rich person magic. The next morning, Anastasia wakes up in a fancy hotel. Christian Grey hands her a piece of toast, along with a second scolding. He's not happy with her. He then animal crawls onto the bed and takes a bite out of her toast. God, this guy's a man. I'm just confused as to why all these perfect men in Twilight and 50 Shades are attracted to such milquetoast, boring-ass mouth breathers. But Mamma Mia, here we go again. Unable to control his craven urges any longer, Grey goes in for the kill, aggressively making out in the elevator. But rest assured, this is but a mere morsel, a taste of what's to come in the bedroom. Oh, I can't wait. for this to be over. That night, we take to the sky. Anna, being a dipshit, needs to be buckled in like a toddler. Ellie Goulding takes us away as we fly over a picturesque shot of the cityscape. What are you waiting for? Love me like you do. Love me like you do. Touch me like you do. Fucking touch me like you do. What are you waiting for? At the Grey Manor, Anastasia gets a little peek at how the 1% live. And I gotta tell you, she likes it. She like it a lot.
Are you gonna make love to me now?
Oh, Anna, you ignorant slut. Grey does not make love to women.
I fuck.
He takes her by the hand, leading her to his playroom. Oh. At this point, I'm half-mast. This red room is full of chains, whips, floggers, flocks of seagulls, a circus midget, Flava Flav, a Boost mobile kiosk. It's really the room of requirement here. Anything you want, you can find. They briefly cover the rules of engagement here in the Sex Fungeon. And that's when Anastasia drops the V card like a ton of dicks. A ton of bricks, sorry. Penis is on the brain. Subscribe. That's right. She's a virgin.
You're still a virgin?
Touched for the very first time. Touch me like you do. Touch me like you do. Grey has found the holy grail of hoes. This woman has the personality of a sex doll and none of the mess. And since it is their first time, Grey's going to actually make love to her and not, as he would put it so gently,
I fuck.
And we do get a lot of tasteful yet beautiful shots of Christian Grey's baby soft ass. It really is just a sight to behold. It's a feast for the eyes. But unfortunately, I can't show you the nudity here on the internet. The man just won't stop censoring me. Afterwards, Christian plays a celebratory deflowering song in the piano, as all men do. After breakfast and a bath together, Christian, being the gentleman he is, drives her back to her place as requested. I'm joking. No, he takes her out into the middle of the woods because he really wants her to sign a sex contract that he has worked up. Oh yeah, he also talks about how he was groomed by his aunt and basically raped for 6 to 7 years of his childhood. We'll gloss over that pretty quickly though. Anastasia Steele's like, sorry, I guess? Was she hot? How do I respond to this? Cool? But that situation made him the man that he is today. Thanks, Auntie. He's really trying to get her to sign that contract. Let's see if your 4.0 GPA can get you out of this one.
This is the contract. Read it carefully.
Good news is she didn't need it in this instance because her computer's on the fritz. And we all know if your laptop doesn't work, there's no other way to possibly sign a document. Whew, looks like we dodged that cum shot for a few more days. There are several montages in this movie. We're going to be treated to another one where she kind of goes over the paperwork, looks at all the stuff the submissive has to do. She is the submissive in this instance. We learn of the safe words. Yellow means pump the brakes, slow down, and red means full stop, this has to be over. I don't think they use either of the safe words in this film, but I'm sure in the future they're going to come up, and I can't wait to hopefully never watch them. I'm also going to call bullshit on these safe words. I don't think they do a thing. Because I shouted red at this movie for 2 straight hours and that thing never stopped playing. Christian Grey, being a god amongst mortals, stops by for another hit it and quit it with Anastasia. This guy's really won me over. What a cool badass guy. I don't think he could do anything at this point that would make... Oh, what? He's using a rubber? A condom decreases pleasure by like 50%. Are you out of your mind? I thought this guy had it all figured out. You're telling me you can't get these women checked out at a clinic? Hell, you're telling me you don't have a 24-hour in-house physician just ready to go at all hours of the night? Make sure these women are clean? Respect gone.
I don't sleep with anyone.
All right. +1 respect added. She is not thrilled with the current state of the documentation, and she wants to have a formal meeting so they can really bang this out. Bang it out, if you catch my drift. No, they're actually going to sit down and hash things out. In what might be the most bizarre lighting for a conference room I've ever seen, Anna inquires about butt plugs right before dinner is served.
What are butt plugs?
And now, unfortunately, this is the only way I can achieve climax. The meeting's not going how Grey wants, but he's going to toss in a couple sweeteners to make sure this deal is sealed. First of all, they're going to go on a date once a week. He's going to allow them to go on a date. What a guy. In return, she has to go to one of his softball games a week and not read a book. Subscribe for Seinfeld references. After a few minutes of foreplay, in which Gray becomes harder than the hardest rock that has ever hardened before, Stage gets up, Stage short for Anastasia, and blue balls this guy into oblivion. She rejects his advances for an office quickie, thereby taking back some power for herself. There's that 4.0 GPA we've all been hearing about. At the University of Vancouver, Christian Grey is a guest speaker. A couple of the grads lean in and talk about how hot he is. Christian, he's so hot right now. Christian, our little Anna, never missing an opportunity for a witty line of dialogue, leans in and says this.
I heard he's gay.
Oh, how deliciously silly. He's not gay. After buying her a brand new car and a fresh spanking, Gray takes Steele back to his red room. Our red room, Christian Gaga. And I have to tell you, the 1000% lack of sexual chemistry between these two is palpable. Speaking of a painful exercise in bondage, it's time to meet the parents. Every single woman knows that once he smells your underwear, it's time to meet his family. At the dinner table, Christian is going to learn some bombshell news. Anastasia Steele is going to be out of town for a little while to see her mother in Georgia. What? How dare she?
What? You have no right to be mad.
This wasn't part of the fucking deal, Anastasia. You are Christian's property, not to be shared with, who was it again? Yeah, her mother. Give me a break. You don't need to see that, broad. Well, she goes, which means Christian's balls are now colder than a direct blast from Sub-Zero. Since he's rich, and apparently has absolutely nothing else going on in his life, he flies to Georgia and crashes the mother-daughter outing.
Here.
What a guy. It's a good thing, too, because Stage was about to have that second Cosmo. Not on his watch, Missy. This goes against Article 7, Clause 5.
We'll let it go.
Why do we even have rules if people are allowed to break them? The next day, they do more rich person flying. Hey, it was nice of you to head out and see your mom, Anna, you piece of shit. Maybe while you're up in the sky, you can do a flyover. Give her a wave and say hi. No, they're not going to do that. They don't care about her. They're too busy being young, dumb, and inside of cum. I say inside because it looks like they're riding in a literal sperm. Back at the Seattle office, Gray is on the phone giving some bozo an earful. God, this guy is an animal.
Well, then tell them that they don't have 24 hours.
What a Sigma man we have here. You know this guy would have a podcast about being red-pilled, successful, great at finance, and how to get as many women in bed as you can. No strings attached. I mean, he doesn't know how to actually cut the string. You need to be like a Girl Scout for that. Where's Anna? Anna, can you cut the string? After absolutely businessing the shit out of business, he celebrates by horse-whipping his prize steed. What a legend! Stage pushes Christian to his breaking point, where he finally admits he can't help himself.
Because I'm 50 Shades of fucked up.
Oh, wow, what a line. That's close to the title of the film. Good writing. That's just good writing. I don't care who you are. Back in the Red Room, he is going to unleash his full power on her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lashes to the ass. And with each strike of the whip, he is getting more and more turned on. You have to imagine by lash number 5, he's pitching a tent so large, you could fit the entirety of a Costco warehouse inside those pants. Anna is not near as turned on. In fact, she's completely turned off. And she shuts it down. She leaves him at the elevator.
Anna.
Christian.
Jacob. That was a Twilight Roast reference. Let's bring this home. We wind down. This is me winding. I'm not even a scout. With another montage of 2 sexually frustrated idiots. Alone and miserable, probably how they should be. This film concludes with one final shot of Mr. Gray in a boardroom meeting, abruptly getting up, turning, and leaving the room. God, this guy's a man. Leaving mid-conference? Are you kidding me? By the look on those Christian Steele eyes, we know he has a plan. A plan that unfortunately we will not see play out in this film. As we cut to black right then and there. Wow, what an achievement in cinema. I'm really impressed. I never thought a film could make porn boring, but here we are. It has been done. And there we are. That's 50 Shades of Shit. We made it. We got out. I want to give a special and completely sarcastic thank you to Vicky over at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies for making this magic happen. She reached out to me over there privately in a message saying, sir, of course, sir, tears in her eyes, please, now that you've roasted the Twilight films, I fund you for a 50 Shades of Grey extravaganza. Watch and roast this movie, please. And of course, I indulged her. I want to thank you for joining me on this journey together. If you enjoyed yourself, hopefully not too much, ladies, please think of subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and even liking this video. That way more of me will show up in the future. And if you want to go to the past, I have a whole playlist of movie roasts there. They're all very funny. I'm very proud of those movies. So do yourself a favor and check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And now if you'll excuse me, I have to go watch 50 Shades Darker. Oh, naughty. No, that's not happening. Take care. Thanks again for watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it if you checked out patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where fans of my channel go to help support it. There are different tiers with different offerings, exclusives every month. We got multiple movie reviews. There's a vlog monthly. And even if you don't want to plop down $1 a month, you can just sign up for Patreon for free and become a member at no charge. Appreciate your time. Thanks.